is Talk Tuesday. I'm KC,
And I'm E.
and we are Not Your Average Podcast. Welcome.
Hi, guys.
Yes, we are here, folks. We are here. There we go. I want the
Is that better?
blinds. Yeah, I don't want the blinds in the picture. What? Oh my gosh, what is happening?
Your phone's going off.
Yeah,
Hey, you
but it's
guys.
on vibrate though. That's wild.
Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, October 11th. Wow. We are at the end of the year, really, truly. Because basically, right after Halloween, things just happen. Life just start moving really fast. Why you laugh?
Because he's just vamping right now. Trying to fill up the space.
I am.
What up, Tahaji?
I am. You was focusing your phone.
Oh man, we've got a very interesting show for you today. A lot. There's some seriousness, but there's some
It's all serious.
mostly.
But I have a weird sense of humor, so something I think.
I'm just excited.
Funny.
I'm excited for our
Why are
live.
you excited?
I'm excited for our live.
Yes.
If you guys don't remember, we are having our first live of the year.
Yeah.
First live event of the year. There we go.
Yes.
On the 29th of this month
Yes.
in Inglewood at the Nile Bar at 3:00 p.m. That is a Saturday, so you don't have to worry about.
That's
your
one thing we
schedule.
have to really push. That's a Saturday
Mhm.
because a lot of people are used to us always doing it on a Tuesday,
Yeah,
but we're doing it on a Saturday. But
or somewhere close by a Tuesday.
Yeah. and it's a Halloween party. Is that it? That's it. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a Halloween party, so costumes are preferred. We would like you guys to all come in your costumes. And Casey and I actually go on at 3. Okay. Is that better? Did that do it? Oh. We actually go on and start our show at 3 p.m. that Saturday. And then from there, we'll run into the happy hour and everything that the bar actually offers.
Yeah.
But drinks will be served at 3 p.m.
Yes.
And the live starts at 3 p.m. So we would like people to arrive early.
Yeah, we'll do our average hour show, and then it'll bleed into the rest of the night. Costumes are encouraged. We will be rocking our costumes as well.
We have costumes too.
Yeah.
We're going to be cute.
Yeah.
Look at me. We're going to
I'm ketchup, she's mustard.
I love it.
JK.
Are we though? Are we kidding?
Hey, what's going on, Deanna? How you doing? What's up, Haj? All right. So, let's just jump into it.
Yes, let's.
We have some pretty crazy things happening. And some inspirations. Eva is definitely inspired by this first story. Creed says, "Hey, on time for the costume."
Yes.
Or one time for the costumes. Yes. I'm like, we're not on time, but
don't tell them I'm inspired. I'm not inspired.
She was
but
inspired.
What I do for a living, this story's crazy. Like, because I don't understand how it all happened. The checks and balances don't make sense to me. A lot of people should have lost their goddamn job. So I'm gonna let you get into the story.
All right. So, question. Do you think there are limits, or do you think being locked up is the end of the world?
That's a great question. Are you asking them or
I'm asking them?
Okay.
I'm asking them. Like, do you think being locked up, there's like a ceiling, like
yeah, you capped out for the years that you're in there.
Yeah.
Everybody's not in there forever, but when you're in there, do you feel like, okay, let me just do my time, put my head down, or do you feel like, you know what, I'm gonna come out here and be a better criminal and be better at this?
One Georgia inmate,
yes,
said, when you know better,
you do
better.
Literally.
And when you're locked up, you're around a lot of people who know better, so they can teach you some things too. But it sounds like this guy could teach a master class.
Real shit.
So
he really
King Lord says, I've been locked up. I'm good. But I doubt you did what this dude did while you were locked up.
This is crazy.
All right. So Arthur Lee Cofield Jr., he's 31 years old. He was serving 14 years for armed robbery in a Georgia prison, right? Now, I guess he figured, whatever work whatever work they had in prison wasn't putting enough on his commissary. So he decided to take it upon himself, and he stole $11 million from a producer, billionaire producer from California. In Georgia, from a prison in Georgia, he stole 11. I'm going to say this again. From a prison in Georgia, he stole $11 million from a billionaire producer in California.
And what he didn't say is he's in maximum security.
This is a maximum security prison that he's in. How did he do it, you might be asking? Well, so from prison, using a cell phone.
That he smuggled in.
Yes, using a cell phone. He impersonated this billionaire through the what is the people? What kind of account was it?
Okay, so he impersonated this guy,
Charles Schwab.
Yeah, I can say the producer, right? Sydney. Yeah. The producer's name is Sidney Kimmel. Mm-hmm. Sidney Kimmel is 80, 90,
92, I think.
He's 92 years old. He was on Forbes list as the fourth.
No, like 1,000 and something.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. So he was on Forbes list as one of the richest men in the world. So this inmate was able to call Charles Schwab. Now, Charles Schwab is not a regular bank. Charles Schwab is an investment bank. Mm-hmm. I deal with Charles Schwab employees all the time because I'm in business management. This inmate had Sidney Kimmel's personal information. He was able to get a hold of a utility bill because when you call the investment banker to try to get information, for your client or do something for your client, they ask you a series of questions. Now, in my for what I do for a living, because we are the business manager, we deal with a different department. We don't call exactly customer service because they know we're calling on behalf of our client. So, so it's certain things they ask us but the client actually put us on the account. Like you can talk to them, because when they want money transferred, they don't do it. We do it.
Right.
So this guy's a billionaire. He doesn't transfer money. He just uses it. Mm-hmm. So this inmate called Charles Schwab, obviously knew the answer to all the questions that the customer service representative on the other end asked, and they granted him to be able to transfer money.
Now, what did he do with the money? So he stole $11 million, right? With that $11 million, he bought 6,106 American Eagle 1 ounce gold coins and had arranged for a private plane to transport those coins to Atlanta. Wait, where did it come from originally? I want to say Idaho.
You guys.
But yeah, so
you can't make this shit up.
Right. So yeah, he's in prison for armed robbery. Yeah, it was an Idaho company. So he had the money, the $11 million transferred from the Charles Schwab account to an Idaho company, and he bought the 1 ounce gold coins with that. And then he had a private plane transport those to Atlanta. And some of those funds were used to buy a $4.4 million mansion in Buckhead. All while in prison. Maximum security prison. How? Eva is inspired. She did her research.
Y'all don't even understand. I read this story and I just was involved. I was like, wait a minute. How did he do this? Just because I know the nooks and crannies that he had to go through.
Ken Gore says he knew Chuck. He ain't called Charles Schwab.
You ain't lying.
He's like, hey, Chuck.
You are not lying.
Chuck, hey, baby.
I find it crazy how all this happened. He purchased a house.
A $4.4 million.
He purchased a mansion.
I didn't even know. Where do you even find these gold coins? Like,
real shit.
6,106 American Eagle gold coins he purchased with this money.
And the coins got their own plane. And he sent the coins to Atlanta. He had a hell of an operation. Because you got to think, at some point, whenever the coins got to Atlanta, someone had to pick them up. or the coins had to go somewhere, and then the people had to count off the coins to purchase the mansion.
Right.
Like he definitely had people helping him on the outside, but he was the mastermind of it all.
Yeah.
And he's the one constantly on the phone. Mind you, the phone was smuggled in.
It's a maximum security prison.
The phone was smuggled in. He shouldn't have had the damn phone. It is kind of genius. I mean, it's bad, but it is really kind of genius.
I bet his commissary is lit.
Stupid.
He got the green tea Twix. He got things you can't even get.
Yeah. And then the first thing I said was, okay, so they discovered he did this. They discovered he broke the law again while in prison. It's not double jeopardy because he went to prison for armed robbery. This is identity fraud. But I'm just more concerned with how are you going to extend his sentence? Do he go back to trial? Like, how does that work?
Give him a hand. That's just
real shit.
Like, you got a jail free card just from pulling it off.
Yeah, $11 million.
Taji said this would definitely be a movie.
It's hilarious.
King Gore says, man, if you want to do anything stupid, do it in the red state and stay in the red state. For real.
And I think some people would be like, how he didn't know he was missing $11 million. He's a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
He's a billionaire. $11 million ain't nothing to him. It's really not a drop in the bucket. So depending on how much money he actually transfers out of his investment account, on a continuous basis, it's very possible that this made complete sense. And that's why they just let the money go, like, oh, okay, he want to buy this, he want to buy that. But I think it's hilarious. When he told me about this story, I laughed. I can't stop laughing. I think it's very, very funny.
Yeah, Steven said that sounds like a different charge. Yeah.
It should be. It should be completely a different charge, but I just wonder how that's going to work. He was already in there for 14 years. I don't know what year he was on.
That's impersonation. That's wire fraud. That's all types of stuff.
All kind of things. He crossed a lot of state lines.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, he didn't, but it did.
Yeah.
His crime did.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's funny.
But they're calling it, it's called the biggest heist in history ever done from inside jail.
It's the from inside jail that keeps killing me because it makes me feel like smaller things have been done.
Oh, man.
It's mind blowing. I just feel like a lot of people should have lost their jobs.
Yeah. Malawi, beautiful love. We changed your name.
You did.
What's
Hi,
up?
honey.
Greetings, Casey and Eva. Greetings to you, Mr. Face. Make sure that you're at our live event on the 29th in Inglewood.
Flyer coming soon.
King Hort said 11 million is taxes to Chuck Schwab. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
King says good job to him. I mean, hey, clap it up. Kudos, because that's an operation.
That is.
And he's only 31.
Everything had to be on point, though. The airplane.
He's only 31 years old.
He is a mastermind.
I believe that when they say I believe the children are our future, they were talking about him. They were talking about him.
It's the craziest shit.
Now teach us well and let us lead the way while you're in there, because I need some help out here.
When I think about it, I just know for a fact he knew their business manager.
Oh yeah,
he had to know the business, because you don't get the investment bank account. You may get a person's bank account, but he knew somebody who had access to a lot of this information. Deanna Stevens says he set up his address for his parole. Yes, he did. Well, he's had to wait a little bit longer now. I don't think he's going to make it to the mansion. Yeah. Who's going to be in the mansion? Right. That's wild. It's the craziest. And in Buckhead, too. Those houses are nice. Very. Mm-hmm. Very. But he's from Atlanta. So he flew the money back. He bought the mansion for him at home when he get out of jail. Get out of prison. But I'm sure he's not going to be getting out of prison no time soon. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we wanted to start off with that because, first of all, I thought it was hilarious. And so much has happened this week. So before we got heavy, I wanted to kind of start a little light. And like I said, it is a crime what he did, but I still think it's funny as hell. Mm-hmm. It's hilarious to me, actually. It's very funny. Well, staying in chips and dip real quick because it's kind of current. Okay. Kind of not. Okay. The Isley Brothers. The Isley Brothers are in these streets, y'all. So, he been rocking this since I've been here. If you guys don't remember the last show that we did, I closed the show with a song from
the Isley Brothers' latest album, which just came out last week, and this album is lit.
He love it.
Like they have everyone in here. The first song has Beyonce, right? It's Beyonce. There's 2 Chainz, which is what I played as our closing song last week. I played the song called "The Plug," right? Ron Isley, the Isley Brothers, and 2 Chainz. Who would have thought these people would be on a song together? But there's also.
But why don't you give them a snippet of the way you like now?
Hold on, not yet. There's a song with Trey Songz. There's a song with Quavo and Takeoff, aka Migos. What's left of them. There's a song with Earth, Wind, and Fire and El DeBarge, which if you remember the verses that the Isley Brothers did, it was against Earth, Wind, and Fire, which is really cool. It's called "They'll Never Be." There's a song with Snoop Dogg, and my favorite, there's a song with Rick Ross.
He loves it.
Oh, and Ron Isley is talking that shit, boy. He is talking that shit. Let me give you a little snippet. I'm not gonna play too much of it because I don't want to, to get shut down.
We're just gonna play his part.
Yeah.
What is this? Maybach music.
I like this Maybach music.
Murder on the beat, so it's not nice.
Love you. The richest niggas that they ever been. The biggest bosses that they ever was. I just hit the deal about another Benz. 300,000 on the car just because. Close the curtains when I'm riding in it. Double 5% tinted like I'm hiding in it. Thinking about the millions when I lay back. Richer than I ever was way back.
He is talking that shit, boy. He is talking that shit, boy.
It goes.
Oh man, yeah, boy. King Gore says Ron got locked up too, right? LOL, of course. The richest nigga that they ever been.
And for people that don't know, Ron still continuously works.
Oh yeah,
like he continuously works. I was his business manager also. So
Chaji said Ron Isley has reinvented himself again. He's done
it before.
He's good at that.
Yeah.
I mean, they started in the late 50s.
Was it?
Yeah, because I know.
Because they were very young.
Yeah. I know one album came out in 64.
Okay.
So late 50s.
Uh-huh.
And in order to stay relevant,
he kept changing
this long because they were doing like the doo-wops and stuff back in the day, and then they went to like.
Well, R. Kelly.
Well, not yet. I'm talking about back in the day.
Yeah, when they first came out.
And then they transferred into disco, the disco era.
Right.
And then and then it was like a kind of a slump. And then in the 90s, R. Kelly, he linked up with R. Kelly. R. Kelly breathed new life into his art, which is why you see a lot of the Mr. Biggs and all of that.
Well, R. Kelly created that.
Yeah, exactly.
That character from
and with the Keep It on the Down Low and Contagious and all that stuff. And he was back on his grind, and then kind of strayed away from that, but he still consistently has been touring.
Making music.
My boy Remy, Remy.
Yes, I do.
He was the assistant director for his music video like 2 years ago.
Okay.
Like a music video that Ron Isley just did. Like he stays working, and like you said, does a lot. They do a lot of casinos.
Yes, that's where he works a lot now. He performs at casinos all around, but he's always performing at casinos. He sells the tickets, he sells out, and he constantly works. He's constantly working. We've booked a lot of flights. Mm-hmm. He's constantly working, but I think like T said, he's constantly reinventing himself because that's what you have to do with music. Mm-hmm. You can't stay in a box. Music changes, music evolves, and you may not always like the direction music is evolving, but if you're a musician, you have to find your niche.
And Ron Isley, one thing that helped him a lot with this resurgence is verses.
Oh, definitely.
They got if you guys don't know what verses are, during the pandemic, Timbaland and Swiss Beats got together and they decided to not even put against each other, but they would display two artists, kind of the same caliber, same mood, same genre, and they'll put them together, and they'll kind of like celebrate each other's careers.
Exactly.
And then it became like a battle type situation.
But that's not
for
how
like,
it started.
Yeah,
definitely.
it became like a battle situation, but it was virtual.
Yeah.
Everyone was like in their homes because during the pandemic, everyone was, in quarantine and lockdown. So, it'll be Erykah Badu from her house and Jill Scott from her house, and they'll just like playing their music, and then it became a big thing where it was a live event. So they had an audience and they had production value and camera angles and cranes and all that type of stuff.
But they should give that props to Teddy Riley. Because that's who really when Teddy Riley did the verses, his verses wasn't successful, but he was the first one that really made it.
But that was the first one, but it was Timberland and Swiss Beats.
Well, they put it
together.
Yeah, but Teddy was the one who brought production to it. Like when his mic went bad and everything, he was one because they used to just kind of sit and chill and drink.
It was Babyface and Teddy Riley.
Yes.
So Babyface was just in his studio, just by himself. With his candles and everything. And Teddy was trying to do too much.
He was doing a lot.
He had a TV screen set up in the back, had background dancers come out. But that was that was still the very, very beginning of the verses.
Yeah. But he's the one who I think gave them the idea this can be bigger. Because when they first started, it was real simple. Because I remember when T-Pain did it, T-Pain was just chilling. Like he was just sitting, playing his music and doing it right there. It wasn't a big fancy one. I feel like Teddy was the first big fancy one.
When the dance hall folk came in and they did it, because Jamaica wasn't locked down like that.
No, they did it.
They had the full dancers and everything, had guest appearances come in, So I feel like that was the first successful.
Well, that was successful. Yeah, most definitely. But I think the dope thing about Ron Isley is every time he reinvents himself, he's gaining more fans. Yeah.
So with their verses, everyone was like, "Oh, who is this zaddy with the salt and pepper beard and all that?" Like he got a lot of young female fans from that too.
He did.
And so now he has all these people, Trey Songz, Migos, like people who you would never imagine would be on a track with them.
Yeah, but it should have been an honor to be asked to be on the track with him.
Definitely.
I'm sure they all loved it.
Yeah, and because they're getting new people too. I'm sure, Ron Isley fans are gonna listen to this album and be like, "Oh, who is this? Quavo? Who is this Quavo thing?"
And Ron is married to a very young woman.
Don Webster says, 81 years old. I can imagine explaining that album concept to him. LOL. Right.
Is he 81?
That's what my mama said.
Well, his wife is not.
Yeah, his wife is very young.
Yeah, she's super young. I'm about to tell you her age right now.
But they've been in the game for a very long time. It's funny because on this album,
I'm older
some things say.
I'm older than his wife.
How old is she?
44.
Oh, wow.
She's 44. And they've been married a long time. They have a son. Yeah, they have a son together. Yeah.
Hey, if you can keep up.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
He's one of the hardest working men in show business.
Well, he's never home. So it's easy to stay married. Like, he I'm not being funny, you guys. He works a lot. he does a lot of traveling. So he's not home a lot. He married Candy. What was Candy's first name? He married Candy from the group Candy Johnson, because they was called the Johnson Sisters, JS. And they did a song back in the 90s R. Kelly produced. And so I'm sure that's how they met, through R. Kelly. But they've been together a very long time. If I'm looking at it right now, I'm trying to get it to you guys.
King Lord says, "What you drinking, Casey? Protein drink."
Protein.
No, I'm kidding. I am drinking Bullet bourbon and lemonade with a splash of Sprite. What are you drinking, Eva?
They got.
She doesn't know. She's just drinking it.
They got together when he was 64. So your mom said he's 81 now.
Oh, wow. So they've been together for a minute.
Yeah. She was very young.
Well, this is tried and true.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But dang. So she was in her 20s.
Yeah. Just very young.
Woo! And he was in his 60s.
We're only 3 years apart. So, yeah.
No, but I mean, like, she was in her 20s and he was in his 60s?
Yeah, but it was Ron Isley. It was Mr. Big.
Hey.
It was was the 90s.
He was hanging around R. Kelly
He
too
was
much.
hanging around Robert.
Ooh. R. Kelly's like, that was the one that got away. Literally.
And he did go to jail. Ron went to jail for tax invasion back in 2005.
Child just said Love Angel.
That's
by
the song.
Jay.
Yeah, he loves that song. It doesn't shock me.
King Gore says, Eva showed them nails.
He don't miss a beat about me.
let's see him.
Look at me. You see?
Yeah.
I didn't feel, but there we go.
Yeah. You asked about mine. Oh man. So yeah, that's that. Shout out to the Brown Isley and the Isley brothers for, I'm sure they're gonna go on tour soon.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be doing the casinos. He's about to go on a big
They're
tour.
about to be on tour.
He's gonna go on big tour.
Yeah, he said we back outside.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, and it's just necessary. King Gore says spooky season, LOL.
Oh, wait till you see him on the
Deanna says
29th.
hashtag nail porn.
Wait till you see him on the 29th.
But like, who's another artist or act that Busta Rhymes
Did what?
he keeps like he stays relevant somehow. Like he has new fans still. Like whenever anytime he pops up, he has a new resurgence of new fans that are just finding out about him. But he was one of the originators of hip hop. He was leaders of the new school.
I remember.
Jungle Brothers, all them, like that whole family, like from the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, definitely.
And he continues to, like, anytime he pops out, anytime he pops out, it's a smash, no matter who he's with. If he's with,
you know who else does that? Charlie Wilson.
Oh my gosh, Charlie Wilson forever.
Charlie Wilson.
I think Charlie Wilson because he's so respected in the music world, especially the R&B and hip hop world, that it's an honor for people to be on a track with them.
Yeah, like Ron. I think they're one and the same.
But people seek out, people literally seek out to do a track with Charlie. Yeah, because it's
definitely reinvented.
He's Uncle Charlie.
He's Uncle Charlie.
Yeah.
And Snoop helped him.
Yeah.
Snoop helped him reinvent himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when he was reintroduced for people who didn't know who he was.
I feel like, didn't he host the Silk Sonic album?
Did he?
I believe so.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I believe like throughout he's hosting that as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's another one.
And I think like I said, in music, I think it's very important, to be able to reinvent yourself because music changes. Mm-hmm. And if this is your craft and this is what you love to do, then you need to kind of change with it.
LL Cool J did it for a while, and he's definitely a pioneer. But I feel like now it's just
Chilling.
If he had a track come out today, it'll just be gimmicky.
Yeah. Because he's an actor. He's an actor now. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I wouldn't say he is doing it currently, but he's done it.
He's done it.
Yeah, something like a phenomenon was
times.
about that time, one of his last ones.
And then Headsprung.
Yeah. That was
mm-hmm.
From when he came out, with I Need Love.
What was the one when he first like showed his bald head? Remember, it was a live performance, and it starts with him, a girl. He had his hat on, and he was facing the back, and the dancer takes his hat off and starts rubbing his head. And he's like, yeah. He had never been in public without his hat on.
I don't remember.
I was a kid.
I'm sure I wasn't. If you was a kid, I wasn't.
But yeah, and then when in 2005-ish, when he came out with that album. No. It was like one of his last albums. And he, did Headsprung and all that. That was another reinvention.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It was a while ago though. Mm-hmm. And like you said, he hasn't done it again.
I don't know if he could.
I don't think he loves. I don't think he misses it. I don't think he wants to be, because I think you have to want to be back in it. You have to.
What up, Moolah?
Hey, hon. You have to want to be. You have to want to go back in the studio. You have to miss it and want to do it and want to change and create a new sound with what's going on in this era. I don't think L wants to. Yeah, I don't think he wants to be a part of this.
King Gore says if LL did a movie, we would get a song. He ain't done that yet. He definitely would.
He would probably want to be on the soundtrack.
Yeah, but
I don't know, but
did he do anything? I was about to say, did he do anything for that?
No, Deep Blue Sea, no soundtrack. They don't have a song from Deep Blue Sea.
What was I gonna say? Oh, but he just had the Rock the Bells festival in New York like a couple months ago, and so he brought out like a bunch of like it's a whole festival of hip hop icons.
80s.
Yeah. I mean 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
You know, he had Ice Cube perform. Ice Cube was like one of the only ones from the West Coast that performed. He had Fredro Starr and Sticky Fingers. Onyx, yep. He had Busta Rhymes. He had a lot of people. LL Cool J performed himself. And Nury performed.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
They had a lot of people. That was a couple months ago.
Okay.
So he's focused on that and bringing awareness to like, yo, this is where we started.
Yeah,
you know
well,
what I'm saying?
he's so successful now. He's an author. You know, he's wrote books.
And I mean, plus the narrative now that DJ Academics, who I hate saying his name because I hate giving him any type of shine. He
said about hip hop.
He said about recently on the show that the pioneers of hip hop are all dusty and done and broke and all that. So
I wouldn't say they are
kind of a rebuttal to you know, like, okay, you thought we were dusty. Here we go. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they all came out and said their piece, and I would have too. So, because they've done other things, they grew up. So people have to realize that. On
Deep Blue Sea, my head is like a shark fin.
Oh my gosh! Thank you, Ken.
Deanna Stevens, she said, "Love me some Cool James."
Honey, ladies love Cool James.
They used to call me LLKC.
Oh God, no one called you that.
You ain't know him.
You was a whole kid. No one called you that. Because I was young when L came out, so I know he was young.
Actually, you know what's funny though?
What?
So one of my nicknames growing up was Lou. Still is.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. So it started two ways.
Okay.
Two ways. So I grew up around all women. You know, for some reason I didn't like being around men or being held by men. Whenever they picked me up, I would cry. So I was Lady Lover Lou. And then I also had an obsession with, so I had a blankie that had like a satin lining, and I would suck my thumb and rub that to go to sleep when I was a toddler or whatever. And then when that was taken away from me, I would grab the label. This is back when shirts had tags on them, back in the day, in the 1900s. And I would grab my tag because it was like the same material as the lining of my old blankie. And so I would rub that and fall asleep. Or I would go up to women's dresses and like I had an obsession with that feel. So it was label lover Lou. But yeah, Lou just like stuck.
Yeah, I've heard.
And then Carla was Sue because we were all together. So it was Lou and Sue.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Haji had a blankie too. Oh, sorry.
Who did?
Haji.
I mean, did we all?
No, I had an imaginary friend.
So sad.
I did, because my sister and I are 10 years apart. So when I was in the house and I wasn't with my friends, I had an imaginary friend. But let me tell you something very funny about that.
What was your friend's name?
Penny. It was Penny from Good Times, Janet Jackson. And so my mom was so supportive of this situation, you guys. She would let me put a plate at the table.
Look, that one said label lover Lou. You remember that?
She would let me put a plate at the table and everything. And my sister would be like, "What are you doing?" I'd be like, "I am talking to Penny. Please leave the room." Like, I would be so serious. So I had an imaginary friend. My birthday is August 11th. I have a great niece. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know I spent this past birthday with her.
August 11th?
Yeah. So I have a great niece. Her birthday is August 11th also. And guess what? She has an imaginary friend.
Aww.
And my sister said, "What the fuck is up with you August 11th, baby?"
What's her imaginary friend's name?
Sam told me, I forgot. Because she did tell me. And sis, we were sitting at the table and she was like, "Oh, Candy Granny, you can't sit there." And she was like, "Why?" And then when she told me, she was like, "Well, you better tell her to move."
Wow.
I just think that means we're super creative. If you're
super lonely.
No, if you're far apart from your sibling. Me and my sister are 10 years apart. So I was like 4. My sister was
it's
like
called
14.
schizophrenic.
No.
There's a name for that, Eva. It's schizophrenic.
No, she went away as I got older.
She couldn't stand you.
But I did have
All she wants to do is hang out with boys now.
think it's very normal.
How old were you when she went away? When she moved?
When she went away, I was probably like 7 or 8.
It's too old, Eva.
She was with me
That's
a long time.
definitely schizophrenic.
Yeah, but you see people talking to themselves in the car all the time.
I see you talking to yourself still.
I do it all the time.
How's Penny?
I be thinking out loud.
Penny's a quarter now. Rome. He says that's too old. It is. That's
That's a good age. Fuck y'all.
okay, Eva.
I was like 7 or 8.
Penny's a silver dollar. Damo says, Labor Lover Lou, you remember that? LOL. Yes, I remember a lot from childhood. Also, I remember.
Don't say it like that.
I remember. So I sucked my thumb for a long time.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
in order to get me to stop, they would put hot sauce on my thumb before I went to sleep.
That's horrible. Did you
Didn't work.
stop? Oh, I'm like, did you stop?
You know, I'm not a big fan of spicy things these days, so it might have had something to do
Well,
with
you know
that.
what? That was me. Fun fact. My mom worked 2 jobs, right? So I spent a lot of time with my sister. And like I said, my sister and I are 10 years apart. So my sister had to take me everywhere with her, like all the time. And it got on her nerves.
Romello says she had prom with her imaginary friend.
Go off, log off. Log off. So my sister had to take me with her a lot. And I'm like 2 or 3. And I was a pretty solid kid.
Mhm.
You know, I was pretty round, you know, and I sucked the bottle.
Mhm.
And it aggravated her. She hated it because it was always, where's my bottle? Where's my bottle? So one day she wanted to get me off the bottle.
If you can ask for it, you don't need it.
I was a big girl. I shouldn't have had it. I agree. I shouldn't have had it. But anyway,
Mama,
she got
where's
mad.
my-
She was so mad that she had to take me somewhere. My sister put vinegar in my milk.
Ooh, ew.
My mom said, you flung that bottle so hard at your sister. I knew something was wrong, but it fucked me up because I don't drink milk. My mom said, you never picked up another bottle,
That's
but
wild.
I drink like a drop of milk in my cereal, like
Wow.
a drop. Like,
Dry
that's it.
ass cereal.
And I put all of the cereal in the little milk. I don't touch milk. I can't stand
Just
it.
stir it around to get it a little moist. Get a little
Yeah.
tinch. King Gore says, I'm an only kid and never had an imaginary friend, but I do have a duality. Facts.
Y'all gonna leave me alone.
Well, Deanna said she's gonna get Penny on y'all. Oh man.
I remember that episode when she got burnt on Good Times. I cried. I was devastated. I was hurt.
Mama, no.
I was hurt. I feel so bad for her. I was hurt.
I was with JJ. Romello says she dipped the cereal pieces in milk like Oreos.
I don't like milk. I can't stand it. I can drink chocolate milk very little. I can't stand it. I hate it.
King said, "What up, Rome?" We were just talking about you, Romello.
We were.
We will talk.
We were. We actually were.
Oh man.
Okay, we have serious stuff to talk about though.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
We do.
So we're gonna go into it.
Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
It's very true.
Yes. So, you want to talk about city council?
We can go there. Or you
Okay.
want to go? Yeah, we can go there first.
Or do you want to go?
I want to go
Kanye,
yeah,
because
first.
that's
Yeah.
like chips and dip still.
Yeah,
It's
we can do
entertainment
Kanye
news
Okay.
ish. So Kanye is out here Kanyeing.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So as you guys know,
KC's homie.
he's been chill.
That's KC's boy.
He's been shit. He's always in the news. I was gonna say he's been in the news lately. He's always in the news.
He stays in.
But most recently, did we talk about the White Lives Matter last week? Was that before that? Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys remember last week we spoke about the White Lives Matter shirts that he had for his fashion show, and he's been, doubling down on that, and saying that it the reason why I put that on the shirt is because it's obvious they do matter, blah blah blah, things that we don't need to hear. But he's also been going ham on a lot of people that have been criticizing him, including people like Diddy. Diddy went on the Breakfast Club the next day, pretty much, and
That was a great interview.
yeah, it was. And they asked him about, how he felt. He's like, Kanye's my brother. take that. Kanye is my brother, and he's a free thinker, and so I can't really down him on what he says. It's just we don't align. It's real. Take that.
He did say that.
But yeah, so he's saying he's a free thinker and blah blah blah. But he didn't really he didn't side with them nor go against them. Pretty much he played it safe because Kanye is his friend. Right. And then Kanye saw that. Oh no, people were criticizing him for almost kind of siding for him or like justifying. But people saw it as him justifying by calling him a free thinker and all that stuff. And so he had to clear it up. So he went on live and said, I don't believe that. I don't agree with the shirt. I think it was wild. I think it was unnecessary. Blah blah blah. So Kanye, in Kanye form, texts Diddy, and also Kanye form. Kanye shares the whole thread of text, and it got down to the point where Diddy was like, "Yo, I want to talk. Send me your address. I'm gonna be in LA. I want to talk." He's like, "You don't have to feel threatened or anything. It's all love." And then Kanye goes at him with some craziness, pretty much threatening him and saying that he was responsible for the death of someone, and like he's just off kilter, right? Yeah, then he goes on Tucker Carlson, Fox News, goes on Tucker Carlson's show and does a whole interview. And part of that interview, because Tucker just loves the fact that Kanye West has had the White Lives Matter shirt. It
is Fox News.
Well, and that's one thing that I said is like one of the biggest things is that he's giving all of these people fuel. He's validating their point of view. In their eyes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's validating it. Candace Owens, she's like, yeah, he's validating what I've been saying this whole time. Yeah. And he's one of them, and they love him. So what does that leave you? Where does that leave you? But Kanye, we're watching someone, obviously, like I said, I don't agree with anything that's happened as of late, but we're obviously watching him have a manic breakdown. He went on the Tucker Carlson show and said that Gap, who, as you guys might know, he's been in a feud with because he says that they stole his designs and cut him out of the deal because he had a deal with a partnership with Gap and Balenciaga, and they had a meeting without him, cut him out of the deal, and they released their own line of things that looked exactly like the stuff that Kanye was supposed to release with them. But he says Gap knew about the Uvalde shooting before it happened. They knew it was going to happen and didn't stop it. Yeah. Things like this, when you say things like this,
absolutely no sense.
Yeah, and it should show that he's not right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is...
He's spiraling.
You're saying Gap knew that this little boy was going to shoot up the school and did nothing.
Right.
That boy don't know nobody. He don't know nobody at Gap. And why would that even be a thing? Like, why would that?
That's crazy.
It's
bad. It's sad though. It's sad to watch.
He's blamed people for killing Virgil Abloh, who passed recently. And
his most recent tantrum was about the Jews. It was about Jewish people.
Well, that was before Tucker Carlson.
It was after.
Tucker Carlson was just like yesterday.
No.
Yeah.
I've seen that interview.
Yeah, it was like yesterday or the day before.
Okay, maybe the day before.
Yeah.
And then when was the comments about the Jews?
Like the end of last week.
Oh,
yeah. Because he had his.
I've been very remote.
Because Kanye had his Instagram.
I thought that was recent.
No, he had his Instagram taken away, and then the day after that, he had his Twitter taken away because he was commenting.
Both of them.
Yeah. Because he was commenting on Twitter about why he got his Instagram about him getting his Instagram taken away.
Okay.
And so now Meta's just like, we're done with you for now.
Okay.
Because as of course Elon Musk said that he's actually going to go forward with buying Twitter, and his whole thing is free speech.
Free speech.
So we'll see where that goes. And Elon Musk and Kanye are really close friends.
They're friends.
Yes, I've served them both at the same time. But
Plug.
but yeah, it's a lot, and
It's bad.
like Tachi said, his kids are seeing him act like this. It's truly embarrassing.
Yeah.
And I'm not even enraged. I'm not embarrassed for him. I'm sad.
It's sad.
Yeah,
It's sad.
because I know I know that he's not all there.
Yeah.
I know that he's going through a manic situation. I mean, we all know that he's bipolar, and we all like brushed out under the rug and was like, okay,
Yeah, but it's
we
real.
and we were like, okay, we can excuse this because you're bipolar. We can excuse this because you're bipolar. But when it's doing things that are so hurtful to the culture,
Yeah.
us as a people, like the White Lives Matter shirt,
Yeah.
it's not just like hurtful, like hurt our feelings. No, you're hurting us as a people.
Right.
Like you're really hurting the movement. You know, Black Lives Matter is not just an organization; it's a movement and a stance and a ideal. It's a way of it's ideal.
Mm-hmm.
The ideology that we matter.
Yes.
Like it's just as pure and simple, and it should be something like Kanye said. It's an obvious truth, but the fact that it hasn't been an obvious truth to a lot of the people, the majority of the United States, majority of the world. Is the reason why we had to say Black Lives Matter.
Exactly.
I can say this over and over and over again. We've said it many times, but you know, if it falls on deaf ears, it's not. If it still falls on deaf ears, it's not going to change anything at this point because everyone's heard it. You know, they heard the argument, and if they don't agree with it, then they just don't want to, and they're not going to. But yeah, the fact that these actions are so detrimental to us as a people, that's when it's like, okay, something needs to happen.
But if you surround yourself with yes men and people who's just gonna always,
it's all yes men,
you know, always agree with you, then you don't have nobody who's gonna like
people are
shut
like,
you
where's
down and tell you
people
like,
where's Kanye's
control
people?
this or
His
stop it.
people are there.
They're there, but they don't care.
Yeah, bar. Oh.
But y'all saw my slowness. I was like, what?
Oh.
Yeah, it's hard to watch. It's sad. Yeah, I have been so far removed, as you can see. Like I didn't know any order that all happened. I just know it all happened, but it's been going on for a really long time, and I feel for him that he doesn't have anybody, you know, truly in his corner who loves him, who could help him or tell him to take his medicine or you know, do something. Because
I mean, he obviously doesn't look well.
You're
like
bipolar.
You know, he has the beard and
he looked like
he just unkept. Like
he just looked like he smells.
It's sad. It really is sad. Like he's going through a manic episode, and we're all just like
watching.
Oh, fuck Kanye, blah 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 blah, and it's like writing him off. It's like, no, this guy needs help. And we know the help, and we know the help that he needs, but there's no way for us to do it for him.
Yeah, but he doesn't want it.
Yeah,
you can't help someone who doesn't want it.
Because he said the medication, which a lot of people say.
He do smell. He look like it. You know how Granny is. Like, oh, you look like he stink. He smells.
He probably smell like outside.
Yeah, man. He does not smell well.
But yeah, it's sad.
It's hard to watch. It's hard to watch.
And no one's helping.
If no one's helping him, and no one's
making him take his meds.
Oh no, he's been off from a while to be where he's at now.
Yeah, and
exactly. You can't help people who don't want to be helped.
Yeah, but it's like when they don't want to be helped when they're under this like they're not in their right mind. So it's like, does it have to be admitted to somewhere? You know what I'm saying? Is that ever going to happen? Like.
No, I don't think so. Long as he doesn't commit a crime.
Because back in the day,
I think if he commits a crime, then that'll be different. But long as he doesn't commit a crime, they're not going to force him into any situation.
Because Kim was the only one that could get him to take his meds back in the day. That was it.
And you would know that because you guys are friends. They're best friends.
No, we're not best friends.
Friends.
But yeah, and now that she's not a part of his life like that, there's no one to hold him accountable, no one to make him, you know, do what he needs to do.
Exactly.
And it's just that, because I've seen him in these moments like this from day to day. It's not just like he'll be fine one day and then the next day it's like a whole different person. Like I've seen the duality of Kanye like on a regular basis.
Right.
And you know when he's having his what they call ramped up moments. You know, we know when he's going through his episodes. And this is a legit episode, and it's like long going, and it's sad.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's really sad because, I mean, he's a great person. He's an amazing person, and he's a genius, and he has such compassion. He wants to help the world, but he doesn't know how to do that. You know, I don't know. Don Webb says his people can tell not to do or say certain things, but they can't force them. Yeah,
you can just suggest. That's how a publicist and friends can suggest, like, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't say this. But sometimes people let social media and the world get under their skin so much, they respond. Kevin Hart has verbally said many times when he's gotten in trouble in the media, his PR team has told him, do not say nothing. He said, I go on there, I read the comments, I get so mad, I go live. And then that's what it is. That's why it's really the best thing for an entertainer. Really shouldn't go on social media. They should never go on.
You should have somebody else.
You should have someone else take care of that. And that's not always easy to do because they're attacking you.
I don't know if you guys have seen recently, Jason Lee, who was his media manager, he just left Kanye because there was so much stuff going on, and it was like fires to put out every single day. And it's a lot.
It's exhausting.
It's a lot. So that's who would, like, whenever things you'll see like a post and delete. That will be Jason. Be like, we need to get this taken down right away. We need to get and now he doesn't have him.
Right.
So now he doesn't have a Instagram at all because he doesn't have Jason Lee.
He lost it. But
Crystal
it's just
says,
a suggestion.
Chris says Kanye has all the answers. I feel like people check him on things, but he is Mr. Right and has a group of people that supports him, and he doesn't want to come off of his high horse. Well, the thing is, it's like a lot of you guys aren't seeing Kanye. like I said, he's legit bipolar. He's honestly medically diagnosed as bipolar. Yeah. And we've had a lot of celebrities, speak on being bipolar. Jennifer Lewis, she's bipolar, but she does what she needs to do to take care of it, but she still has her episodes. Kanye doesn't do what he needs to do to take care of it. And the person that's not doing what he needs to do is his ramped up version of himself. Once you're over here, there's no coming back unless you're pretty much forced. You know what I'm saying? Unless your chemicals balance out by themselves, but that's not. You can't.
Well,
they
don't. Yeah. That's why you're diagnosed that way. They're not balancing by themselves.
Don Webster says he said his meds dull his creativity. Right.
Well, that's what he said. He did say that.
So yeah. I mean, I feel it. Like I mentioned in previous episodes, like I don't take my depression meds as I should because I don't like the way they make me feel. I don't like the way that I don't like the.
What are they? What's the pill?
Don't worry about it. But
he responded real fast. I'm like, what are they?
I just like the way that they make me feel. I don't like who I am when I'm taking them. Yeah. It just doesn't feel like me, and I feel like at this point, depression is me. It's like it's a part of me. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like roll with it.
You learn to deal with it daily. Yeah.
And stay away from people when I have those moments.
Right, definitely.
But so I get it. And I'm not anywhere near as creative as Kanye is. So anyway, I just pray. Let's pray for Ye, and hope that something happens. He does things, and we welcome him back. And I don't know if there's a lot of coming back from this one.
I don't know if he wants to either. So I think that matters too. We welcome him back because he seems to want to be back. I don't think he wants to come back.
Yeah.
So that matters too. Like you said, you can't help people who don't want to really help themselves.
Yeah. Deion Stevens says he's a different person in his manic state and we'll ride it out and then maybe we'll be okay. I don't know if there's any riding this out.
I don't know how you're going to ride it out.
Yeah.
Because the thing is with spiraling.
Ye, the thing with Ye, like Crystal said, he doesn't want to come off his high horse. So, like, honestly, we've seen this with the MAGA hats and all that.
Yes.
You tell him he can't do something, or you tell him that he's wrong with something, he's gonna go
harder,
and he's gonna go harder at it and try to improve, even though he doesn't believe it. Prove that he was right for doing whatever. So whatever he says right now, whatever he says right now, whatever he does right now, if he comes out of this manic situation, he's gonna be like, well, this is what I said, and but
stand by
you guys want to control me. You guys want to say that, you guys want me to bow down to this narrative and this and this and this. So he's not going to, like, even though he might not agree with what he said, he's going to keep ramping it up. Yeah, he's gonna stand by it. Because he
said it. So he's going to stand by it because he doesn't want to renege on what he said.
King Or says he's a troll. Album coming soon. No album coming. No album coming soon.
I think so. We both said that. I don't think so. Yeah. I don't think music is even at the forefront of his mind right now.
Yeah, no album coming soon.
That was just a personal thought. It isn't like
I just know how he is when he has albums coming out, and he's not.
Yeah, I don't think he has.
He's not. When Kanye has an album coming out, he'll go away for a couple months.
As they should.
Yeah, and he'll really bunker down and have everyone that's working on the album come to where he is. Right. Whatever state, country, whatever, wherever it is. He's been too in the public eye for him to be making an album right now, for him to be focused on an album right now.
Yeah, I don't think he's making music. Not at all.
Just historically, this is what Kanye does.
Yeah.
Is he'll, disappear for a while.
Yeah, I don't think he's making music at all. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't think he's making music.
He's too distracted. And if he did, I don't want to hear it. I mean, he has done like some features on some people's things recently. Mm-hmm. But that's about it.
Taji said it's like he wakes up every day thinking of how can I piss off the world today.
Honestly, I think he wakes up thinking, how did I piss off the world yesterday? Because I just don't remember. Today's Sunday. Okay, no, that was Friday.
Yeah, so what did
Tucker
I do?
Carlson was Thursday. All right, so
yeah, I'm sure he has to get a recap on everything he's doing. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. So we're at an hour, so we're gonna dive in very quickly to our last subject, and we're talking about the LA City Council.
Yes.
We wanted to touch on that because, well, we're in LA. We're in Los Angeles, and a board meeting audio has just came out
from last year, actually.
Oh, the board meeting was last year, but the audio just came out yesterday. Was it yesterday?
A couple days ago.
I told you I've been out the loop.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple days ago, some audio came out about some LA council members who were sitting in the boardroom, and everything's recorded in these meetings, so people can go back and hear things, or if something happens, or if somebody say, "Oh, I didn't say that," they can be like, "Oh, we got the audio. You did agree," or whatever. And this is public knowledge. Everybody knows this. They know it's audio in that being recorded in that room, but everybody knows. So we're gonna play you some of the audio that was recorded.
So this is the LA City Council president, Nury Martinez, and the first part is her just talking about this. Well, it's a self-explanatory. Here we go.
He did call me. He wants to have breakfast with me.
What's taking him so long?
I just said, hey, we need to talk.
You supported him from the.
Don't worry, I got you. So you'll start seeing them line up. Isaac was the first.
Whatever the kid's name is, I'm like.
Be waiting for you while you do makeup.
She says, fuck that guy. He's with the blacks. And then she goes to speak about one of her colleagues who's a white man, and he has a black son, and they were at a parade, and they were on a float, right? And apparently the black son was misbehaving.
He's little though.
Yeah, he was 2.
He's 2. He's a baby.
Yeah, he was 2 at the time.
Yeah, he's a kid.
Yeah. And so this is what she says. It might be a little more clear. This clip might be a little more clear. Hold on.
It's like the oddest thing. It's like black and brown on this float, and then there's this white guy with this little black kid who's misbehaved. Este niño has they're not doing. The kid is bouncing off the effing walls on the float, practically tipping it over. There's nothing you can do to control him. Parece changuito. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's like the elevator.
So she says, parece changuito, which means looking like a monkey.
Yeah.
About
somebody who's part of the council's son.
And then she says,
Take them around the corner and then I'll bring them back.
Yeah.
¿Sí me entiendes? Ven para
It's a
acá.
pinch.
Yeah.
she said he needs a beat down. Let me take him around the corner and I'll bring him back. Yeah.
So she's now resigned from her position.
There's so much more.
Yeah, because it was a long conversation.
Yeah.
We just gave you guys it was a very, very long conversation, like 7 parts to it. It was very, very long. But she has since resigned. But what I just discovered today, talking with you, she is on a leave.
So yesterday the news was that she resigned, right? And so everyone's like, okay, great. She needs to resign. That's part one. Now today it comes out that she resigned from her position as president of the city council, but she's still a member of the city council, and she's taking a leave of absence from the city council.
Right.
Now today, there were tons of protesters downtown, outside the city council building, outside the city building, city hall. The thing.
Outside the building, the city building.
And they also, protesters went into the meeting, which is open to the public.
Yeah.
But it's never this many people.
Normally people don't.
So at one point, people were getting rowdy. They were cussing people out. 2 of the people that were in that conversation, they spoke at the beginning and then they left before the meeting even started. Because
they knew the crowd was coming.
Yeah, it was too rowdy. No, the crowd was already there.
Okay.
The crowd was already there, and before the meeting even started, they left. There was a lot of profanity being yelled and all that. So instead of kicking everyone out, what they did was said, hey, we're going to let you guys speak, actually. And we just need some order for that to happen. And everyone got quiet, and the protesters got to actually speak their minds about how they felt for the city council.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, keep in mind, she's a Hispanic woman. Mm-hmm. And so this has brought a big thing about, the black versus brown and all that stuff. Because, you would think in LA we'll be somewhat unified. You know what I'm saying?
Would you think that?
You would. From the outside.
Okay,
from people that are watching. People that are watching.
I'm from here, so I'm like, do you think that?
You would think, LA is still, California love.
No.
And even within, like, a lot of people that are in the Hispanic community, they, today they've been mentioning, it's like, this is nothing new. We hear about this all the time in our families. Even when it comes down to white and black Latinas and Latinos, like just within the same family, just like the coloration, the colorism, the situation. Mm-hmm. So like that phrase she said is a common phrase, and it's, look like a monkey. It means look like a monkey. That's a common insult,
say.
Yeah.
Well, you could tell for her to say anything that she was saying, she felt comfortable. She was very comfortable with the people who she was speaking to.
Yeah. And there are people that understood what she was saying.
And they understood her. Yeah.
Yeah. Donna Webster said, was it enough that she resigned as president, yet it's still on the council? Why wasn't she kicked off? Right. And that's what everyone was protesting. That's what everyone was protesting for today. Mm-hmm. They're like, that's not enough. We need her kicked off, because like a leave of absence, she could just leave and come back whenever she wants, and it's like, okay, let it die down a little bit, out of sight, out of mind, and then when they're not thinking about me anymore, let me pop back in. Yeah, exactly. And it shouldn't work like that.
That's because we, the public or people, so much happens and so much gets media's spotlight. You could do something, you just go away for a little while, the world will forget until someone brings it back up that you did something. Beautiful
Love, I love that. Beautiful Love says, is this the meeting where the lady was dropping F-bombs and saying they were just doing normal business like they were not there? I don't know. I mean, there were a lot. I mean, she did swear quite a bit.
Yeah, she did.
So I'm
sure it is.
Pure Blissfulness says it's very much so segregated here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
More than you would think.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're not from here. Like I said,
I mean, and it's kind of like
here, so
like there's barrios here. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
You know, you go to East LA, and that's a whole thing. And even like in South LA, there's the nuggets of the pockets of if you're Latino then or Hispanic, like you're in this area, and you don't really venture out of that area because it's a problem. You know. I've been in some of those areas, and it's like, should I be here?
No.
Hold on there, Holmes.
No, you
Soy Dominicano. ¿Dónde es la biblioteca? Yeah, it's very much segregated.
LA is very segregated.
Yeah.
Very. A lot of people, like I said, wouldn't know that. But I do. So like you can tell me a place or where you're at, and I'll just be like, oh, you were definitely not in where you should be. Like you should definitely leave from over there right now. So yeah, it's very segregated.
But yeah, that black and brown unity is not what you think it is.
It's not what you think it is.
It's not what you think it is. And it's wild because you would think it's like we're all oppressed, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it's like we all have their foot on our necks. And it's like if we would
but soon somebody
get together somehow.
Soon somebody say that, then somebody else be like, no, but we have it harder, or we have this, or we have, and they start giving all these examples.
My family fought to be here. My family was brought here.
Yeah,
like,
it gets ugly.
Yeah.
Depending on.
Donna Webb says, where is the library? Look at you knowing your Spanish. I didn't know you spoke Mexican, Donna Webster. She says, where is the library? King Gore says, it's even segregated in races. Black, Asian, Hispanics. So I'll do it. Yeah. Blacks, Asians, and Hispanics do it. Yeah, definitely. He says, makes sense that it would be this. Makes sense that it would be this too. Oh, like the black and brown situation. Yeah. Yep.
So we wanted to bring that to you guys. We have hit an hour, and we're trying to, keep our show in an hour.
Yeah, there's a lot more to talk about with that whole situation. We can get a lot deeper, but yeah, nah.
Yeah, nah, we're not gonna get to
We can revisit it next week. So I'm sure this is going to go on to next week. I'm sure there'll be new developments coming up within the next few days. Whether or not she actually is kicked off of the council.
Exactly.
And then other people's opinions that might pop up. In the celebrity world.
The people she was speaking to, and all that's going to come into play. You just got to give it time.
Yeah, King Horse says everyone want to play the Victim Olympics. Yeah. Yep. We got it worse. And oh my God, especially LA. I hate that. Everyone feel like their struggle means that when they get something, they're more validated, or they're more deserving of it. Like I'm more deserving of making it because I went through this and went through this. Like when you meet someone like out here, like they tell you their whole like background story, and it's like, yo,
tell me,
huh?
What do we do?
I'm not you guys, like people. Well, like
y'all saw me. What do
just
we
like
do?
people that you meet out here, like, but not like natives, like people like right now. I'm speaking of like industry, because like you'll meet someone they feel like their struggle to get to where they like their struggle means that they deserve to make it more.
As if no one else.
Exactly.
As if no one else had humble beginnings.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like everyone's like, oh, my struggle this and my struggle that and my struggle this, and it's like nobody cares. Just work.
Well, everybody's struggling.
Just do it. Yeah.
Everybody has a struggle. Not everybody's struggling, but I don't care if you come across a person with a ton of money or a person with very little money. If you ask the millionaire, and people would be like,
"Oh, and be like, how'd you have $11 million missing and didn't even know?"
So like, if you ask a person with the money their struggle, they're going to answer. They're not going to say, oh, my life was always great. Because in their head, they went through something that they consider
their mom or their dad
struggle.
Was always working.
Exactly.
And they have my parents around.
Everybody is going to define whatever their personal struggle is.
And it's validated no matter what.
No matter what.
Because everyone's struggle.
Like, oh, that doesn't count. You can't tell them that doesn't count. That was their story. That's their life experience. And then you may be homeless or you may have lost your parents at a young age. So that's has your life experience.
Yeah.
So everybody, I promise you, every single person thinks they have had a struggle moment. And you can compare it to something else. It's like apples and oranges.
Because different people have different tolerances too, based on what you're doing.
Exactly.
You know, like they say, like diamonds diamonds are made from pressure, right?
Right.
So it's like, okay, so if I went through this, and this, that has forged me to be stronger and forged me to be able to take on this better because I went through this already. If someone was coddled and and their bank account, their identity was stolen, or something small, when you're a billionaire, when you're a billionaire, it's whatever.
It's little.
Yeah. Or mom took your car away for the weekend.
Right.
If you've never had anything really bad happen to you,
that's a struggle.
That's the end of the world.
Yeah, that's a struggle.
And you can't there's no checks or balances. There's no because their tolerance isn't your tolerance. So it might still have the same effect emotionally, even physically, when you're dealing with stress and all that stuff and the effect that it has on the body, that might have the same effect on them as you losing your job or you being evicted from your home. And it's crazy, but
because
people,
every single person has a struggle.
Yeah.
Right? You're never going to come across a human that says it's always been great. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, that time I was doing this acquisition or this merger. They're going to be able to answer that question.
I'm ready for those talks.
Will you be able to relate to it? I don't know, but they're in their head. That was a struggle.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
No, so that's all I'm saying. Everybody has a struggle.
King Gore says people in general out here will tell you a whole story you didn't ask. Bid, it was a yes or no question.
Most things are a yes or no question.
Yeah, man. So anyway, that's been our show. I don't even have a song picked out.
He doesn't. He's gonna play something off Ron Isley though.
No, I did that last week. I did that last week.
So we're going to end the show talking about our live, you guys. We are having our podcast, filming the show live. We're doing the show live. I guess we do have to figure out a better way.
Tuesday live event.
Yeah, but we're always live. So it's
not an event.
Yeah. Look how we both like. Yeah, we have to figure out a better way. But we're actually doing our show where we'll have a in-studio audience. Well, in bar audience. So we're going to be at the Nile Bar in the city of Inglewood. We start at 3:00, and our show will go from 3 to 4. And then after 4, it runs into happy hour at the actual bar. It's located on.
We love a happy hour.
Who doesn't? It's called happy hour. No, it's called happy hour. Happy hour ends at 7 p.m. at the Nile, so it's a long happy hour. And come out, come support, come to the show. If you are there and you ask a question or you make a statement, you're actually on the audio for the show that we put up. So that's what we mean when we say live, because it can be very confusing because technically we're live right now. So, but we're in somewhere where you can come and sit with us and talk to us and give us your opinion. You don't have to do it on a computer, but we actually do still record the show so we can put it up. It will be our 130th. Oh, wait, it will be our 135th episode. And we're really excited. It's our first live event of 2022. We haven't had a live event since September of 2021. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm actually very excited, because I love the location.
Location's dope.
I love the location. It's very close to home for me. So it's not a lot of traveling.
It's brand new.
It's a brand new location. Yeah. Thank you. Is it beautiful?
It is.
So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a really good live event. I'm very excited. A lot of people seem to be very excited about coming. So, it's going to be a good show. It's going to be a good day. It is on October 29th, so it's not on Halloween, but costumes are preferred. We would like everybody to come dressed in a costume. And it will be a costume contest. It will be actual prizes to whoever wins for the best costume. And I have to admit, Casey and I may win.
We're not eligible to win. We're not eligible.
We might win. It's a pretty good gift. We might win. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And, it's no RSVP or anything. The flyer will go up soon. And all you guys got to do is just show up, come and drink and enjoy. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes. So just to give you guys a little taste, a little sample. Oh, wait. I'm sorry, you guys are talking. Kingor says, Eva, you the only one that says acquisitions. I know. Acquisitions. Deion Stevens says, great shows always, guys. Yeah, we got it. We knew what you meant.
I know what you mean.
Deion Stevens says, Taco Tuesday live bash. Nah. King Horse is taking bets on how many times Eva would say 135th episode.
Just for the record, Eva will be very sober while we're doing the show.
But afterwards, boy, that happy hour. Oh, want to talk about the bar crawl?
Oh, yeah. Thanks, babe. So, for those who do not follow me on social media and do not actually know me, I just recently started a bar crawl in the city of Inglewood. It's called the Spark It Up Bar Crawl. It comes from me. My maiden name is Sparks. And so it's a lot of fun. I've been on numerous bar crawls, but there's not a lot of bar crawls in the city, in around where we are.
And I've been on this particular bar crawl.
He has been on this bar crawl.
It's a vibe.
And we go to 3 locations. At each location, we receive a shot along with my bar crawl ticket that costs $25. We also give you a QR code that will send you a link to other locations that's participating in the crawl. We don't go to them that night, but you can get certain discounted purchases from their location also. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm trying it out right now for the football season and trying to see how that works. We have a link on Eventbrite, and we're also on the Airbnb experience, so we can be found on both websites. And I'm really excited about it. I'm only on week 2. And we'll see how it goes. I do a maximum of 12 people. I do it 2 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, and 2 on Sunday at all different times. And like I said, it's 3 spots and 3 shots.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of fun. And tell them your experience. Y'all see me? Tell them your experience.
So it is Inglewood in the middle of the night.
That was not the way to lead into this.
No, it was great. Each of the bars or spots that we go to are completely different vibes from the last one. Yeah. So you get a good taste of Inglewood. Yeah. The host is amazing. She gives you nice
facts.
She gives you like
y'all know I'm about fun
history.
Facts.
Can I speak? Can I give my perspective?
Yes.
She gives a nice history lesson as you walk through the streets of Inglewood. I learned some things that night I didn't know about. She's very knowledgeable because she's from the streets. So
I didn't like the way you said that.
I'm sorry. She's of the streets. So, she's very knowledgeable, and you don't feel in danger at all. No, it's definitely give you a different perspective of what you might know Inglewood as. So it's a vibe. I love it. And it ends at the best place in Inglewood, the Nile Bar.
Yeah.
Oh, and Kingor says Soul Sunday this Sunday. So if you guys don't know, Kingor and I would do an event whenever we feel like it called Soul Sunday. Kingor, serves up the hip hop and R&B karaoke, and I serve up the soul food. So I would be selling food there as well. It's a vibe at the Goodnight Bar in Burbank. You'll see a flyer or a video coming up soon, but it's this Sunday at the Goodnight Bar. That's NITE. Actually, North Hollywood on Burbank Boulevard. So, if you guys are around, doors open at 9:00 and food will be sold around 10. So, it's a vibe, y'all. Come on down. We haven't had one in a few months. So, come check us out. It's a good time. And it's free entry. So, can't beat that. Cannot beat that at all. If you guys want a little taste of what we have, to share with you on, what am I saying?
October 29th.
Yes, on the 29th. It's a little taste of what goes down.
Cause it's Taco Tuesday. Where is it? Taco time. Where
Yeah.
The thing that's different about a verbal vacation home.
What is happening? I'm sorry. Ah. There we go. And we're back. But yeah, so as you see, so as you see, we get you guys involved. Give you guys a mic, and you guys become part of the show as well. That you can, rewatch or listen. But we'll also be live on the show. We'll be live on YouTube and Facebook and all that if you're not available to be here in person. So yeah. Crystal says it's a vibe all the time. Yeah. Yes. Carla says now I'm singing it in my head. The theme song makes me want to go dumb Bay Area. But yeah, so that's that. Still haven't picked the song, but you want to give it the bill, Eva?
Okay. I didn't put the mic down. I was letting him do all the time. Okay, so we started off the show talking about the inmate who stole $11 million from Sidney Kimmel, the producer.
Mm-hmm.
He stole $11 million, bought some coins, he bought a mansion, but mind you, he's in a maximum security prison in Atlanta. It's crazy. I could talk about that for hours. It's very funny to me.
She is a fan.
I am. I'm inspired. So I am. And then after that, we talked about something else. Did we
go to Kanye from that?
No, you wanted to talk about music. We talked about Ron Isley's new album with Rick Ross. Casey loves it. He loves the song with Rick Ross. It's very funny to him. And he played you guys a snippet. And we just talked about how, the older singers or the older musicians have to reinvent themselves, if they want to stay relevant in this era of life. And then after that, we talked about Kanye West and everything that's going on with him and the mental breakdown that he's experiencing publicly, that everybody is witnessing. And then from there, we talked about the LA City Council, who said, what did she say? She said he's with the blacks.
She says he's with the blacks, and then she also speaks on a little boy who was black.
He's a black boy, but his father's in the council.
She says that he's raising him. They're raising him like a white boy because he has no discipline, and she should take him. She'll take him around the corner and give him a beat down and bring him back.
Mind you, this is a woman of color. This is a Hispanic woman saying all this. And the audio was recorded. You said over a year ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was recorded over a year ago, but it's just been released to the public. Who knows how long they sat on this. And then from there, we talked about the Spark It Up Bar Crawl that I have just recently created.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very excited about it. Once again, it's on the Airbnb experience. If you type in the city of Inglewood, and it's also on Eventbrite. And then from there, we talked about Soul Sunday with King and KC this Sunday at the Goodnight Bar out here in North Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Considered North Hollywood. Okay. And then we're gonna and then we ended it talking about our live. Once again, on October 29th, we want everybody to come in costume. Costumes are most definitely preferred. And we're gonna have a costume contest. We're gonna have drink specials, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be good. So yeah, that is our show. And you guys will see us next Tuesday. And we're looking forward to seeing you guys all soon.
Flow Rider has a new song out.
Don't do it.
I'm not gonna do it.
I said don't do it.
I'm not gonna.
So we're gonna end the show on that note whenever Casey presses play.
You know what? So yes, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for joining us this week. Please make sure you're spreading the word. And whenever you guys watch us, just click that share button on Facebook if you're watching us on Facebook, or just share that link if you're watching us on YouTube. And make sure you subscribe on YouTube so you can make sure you don't miss a show. Make sure you get every post that we post, and make sure you hop on whenever we go live, because it's never the same time. Crystal is going wild right now. She says Carla Bobin, I can't help myself but to sing along in my head. LOL, but let me be in a bar or lounge. It's going up. Crystal Randolph. She says Crystal Randolph, right? Oh, they're talking to each other. Great show. Florida got a song. Yeah, he got a new song. I'm not gonna play it though. But yeah, so that's that. Make sure you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or whatever you get your podcasts. But preferably iHeartRadio so we get those numbers up. And like always, I'm KC.
And I'm E.
And we are Not Your Average Podcast. Holla.
Good night, you guys.
I don't know what to play. So much stress, pressure.
Can't nobody stop me, I'm on go. They like creeping, I'm running on no sleep. You stay better, I'm doing the most. Focus, getting bigger, it's the protein. Can't go broke. They try to match me, can't come close. Get the ground active, can't move slow. There's no can't be, can't do both. Can't do both.
Mom, I'm sorry, I'm still seeing ghosts. Mental broke, yeah, I was exposed. Seeing vultures, eating flesh, and now I'm getting older, playing pro. But I'm bashing peasant till my fingers